Hey guys,
Enough is enough.
Hello, hello.
what do you mean? That intro music is amazing.
But it's too long. Or I'm just tired today.
Why
Like I
not
just
both?
told you, I'm back. I'm back from my run, so I'm pretty exhausted, which is sad because it was supposed to be an easy run. So I guess I'm still not back into shape after the week of React Universe Conf.
React Universe Conf. Good you brought
Yeah.
this up.
Yeah, because it's totally the thing we are supposed to talk about today.
No.
That's why I'm here.
Let's first introduce ourselves. Let's introduce this live stream. Let's introduce the concept of this live stream. Let's maybe say hi to all of the 18 people that are watching this right now.
Maybe we can also start with like introducing the concept of the live stream. Like, what is the live stream actually? What is stream?
Oh, that's poetic, isn't it?
Yeah, especially that.
We are supposed to do a deep dive into technical stuff, but I'm not sure if deep diving into the meaning
Stream.
of life is the thing we are supposed to do.
Yeah, you shouldn't like really dive deep into a stream. You can break your neck.
You can dive deep into a stream. Yeah, that's what I learned when I was signing up for my swimming lessons.
Look, hell neon pie. Stream is a body of water. Okay.
Well, yes, but if you miscalculate the depth, then the stream won't be a body of water. It will be water full of bodies. So
good one. Nice.
Yeah, today I'm quite sharp because I'm like 2 days before my holidays, so I'm extremely sharp today.
Okay, starting now. Hello everyone, this is a live stream, weekly dev session live stream, where me, Łukasz Kludziński, Kevin aka Kewin, and Szymon Chmal, our guest, are diving deep into the stream of React Universe. So weekly, we read weekly newsletters from React Universe, and we discuss the newest developments. We play around with some technologies. We learn a lot during those live streams. And we come unprepared. That's a promise. We haven't read the newsletters yet. Okay. Anything to add, guys, to my beautiful intro?
Yeah. I mean, I like, not to the intro. The intro was perfect. I really missed you, really, because
I missed this live stream. I was off for 2 weeks. Like, we didn't have the live stream last week.
Yeah.
I guess I did the live stream last week, but it was like
last week
2 day
you
long.
did the live stream, and 2 weeks ago I did the live stream. So, it's so good to have you back.
Let's see, because like I wasn't lying. I'm not prepared at all, man.
Well, worst case scenario, I'm quite prepared today, and if not prepared, then I'm, as I said, quite sharp today. So we can figure out some stuff on the fly. But to be honest now, you are much more prepared than I am, because on our React Universe conference, you were doing all of the interviews, right?
Not all of them. Szymon did some. Ola Linczewska did some. And we were a part of the studio down in the basement. We were doing some interviews. We were doing some micro panels with amazing people from community of React and React Native. It was really like amazing. And I tried not to do a proper interviews with those people, like about their life and talk. Mostly what I wanted to discuss with them was like general ideas and some like other topics from React and React Native community that they might have not talked on stage or like in previous interviews.
Yep, that was the problem with you.
That was a problem with me.
Yeah, because I was on the other side of force, let's say, because I was trying to keep things technical and focus on the presentation itself. And you was always going like,
What do you
well,
think
but
about
it-
life?
It's still you had two professionals on two separate sides. Like one tried, that's what.
professionals.
Oh, good to see you, Ryan.
Yeah,
Great
it's
to
good
see
to
you.
see you. Sleep conference participant. Hello, special greetings for Kewin from Sleep conference participant, aka Callstack member badge.
Yeah, Damian. He was a very, very sleepy participant because he had to travel throughout the night, and he arrived like he had to wake up around 3, I believe. And yeah, Damian, shout out to you. It was really amazing meeting you. Like it gave me such an amazing, powerful boost of confidence because I came to the conf, and after like 4 to 5 minutes, Damian came up to me and was like, "Hi, Kevin, good to meet you. I'm a listener of the podcast of the stream," and I was like, "Oh my god, that's so cool!" I wasn't like expecting to meet any of our listeners on the conference, but in first couple of minutes it happened. So Damian, you made me extremely happy at the beginning of the conf, and I believe I kept the happiness throughout the entire conference. So kudos, shout out to you, and I hope you had a lot of fun because the conference, like, look, I thought that today will be the best moment to wear the swag, and look at the amazing swag on the back. Oh wait, this is so beautiful.
Kevin, I also got some swag. Like I didn't get the t-shirt. I forgot to
Pick it up.
like claim mine, yes. And I don't have this, but I have this. Look at this beautiful neon.
Yeah, he stole it just
I
a
stole
minute
it from
after
the studio.
Yeah,
It
just
looks-
a minute after we finished.
It looks so cool.
So the cameras went off and I was like, I'm claiming the neon.
And I helped you get it basically. So it should be partially mine. I think we should rotate it. I mean, 1 week on your side, one week on my side. So
But you are responsible for the pushing it around.
I was looking for this.
Oh, I
This
have
is-
those.
Yeah, this is
I have
unique.
those as well.
Not everyone have those. The problem is that it's 48.
It's not a problem. It's a feature.
A little bit. It's a little bit a problem because I wear, 45, 46. So they are just a little too large, but we will see how it goes.
I think, but that's still my most favorite part of the merch, and I'm gonna be trying that on Saturday on my flight. This.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, of course, this is a thing that allows you to make a fly out of yourself, and it's perfect.
To be honest, for I would say a couple of hours, I couldn't get the idea of it. I mean, I opened the ball and I was like, "The fuck is that?"
Yeah, it's like the like sometimes you have the things for your neck, the neck support. So this is for you to sleep in the plane, and I'm gonna be testing the heck out of that.
Me too.
Although
Next
I'm
month.
not sure if I'll. Although yeah, my flight is around my flight is around 6 or 7, so I will have to really wake up early. Damian says that the conference is awesome, pushed him towards more React Native from React Web. He coded some simple apps from its Monday and learned a lot, which is the point of the conference. And actually, I really strongly believe that it's actually a feature, not a bug, of the community, that React Native has relatively easy entry level. So a lot of people are jumping onto the React Native, and everyone brings something from their own technology. Like Shimon, for instance. Shimon is, I believe, you have a stronger background as a web developer. And if you didn't have that background as a web developer, we wouldn't have Rosinite, which like basically
True.
this is a mix of two thinking patterns and expertise from one thing applied to another thing. And I really see it everywhere in the React Native community. There's like cross-domain specialization. I believe that this is what allows the community to grow so fast and to come up with crazy ideas and amazing libraries. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So for example, I have a background in lifting weights in the gym, and I'm lifting that community up,
Yeah, and you lift a lot of weight from my shoulders every week on the stream. So
Yeah.
it's noticeable.
So like, so the probably the main topic for us here is to just like talk about the conference. What was it like to be on site? I want to hear some opinions from people that maybe watched us online, if there are any. So please let me know in the comments. So do you guys want to go through newsletters first, or maybe we can look at the agenda from the conference and we can maybe each one of us will pick a favorite talk or talk that you have some takes on, and we can like discuss briefly what do you like about that particular talk. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that good to see you, Grzegorz. I think we can start with quick overview. Sorry. I think we can start with at least a quick overview of the newsletter, because
but the newsletter will take more time,
Okay.
Yeah.
So
let's
start with the conference.
Will take more time, because like I have the newsletter open and we have like actually like 2 editions, and in this one came out on September 3rd. So like in mid-conference, this one came out, and it talks about React Native 1.0, which was like a big subject of discussion at the conference. So I guess like we have a bunch of things to read from the newsletters. I wanted to like open with the agenda from the conference, and maybe like if you have. So Kevin, did you have a favorite talk? Which one was that? And why it was Shimon's?
Think twice, yeah.
God damn it! Yeah, I really wanted to say Shimon. Yeah, I really like two talks back to back. Shimon's and then TJ's talk. Those two were amazingly prepared. Like when we on the conference, I spoke with a couple of people, and I came up with a really nice observation. At least I like to think it's a really nice observation, that with the presentation, right? When you are doing a presentation, the most important part, to everyone's surprise, it's a presentation. It's not the slides, it's not the text, it's not really also the content. It's the presentation aspect. And Shimon had like amazing presentation aspect. The slides were great, of course. The content was there and people were excited to hear about Rosinite. But the presentation was what, like, in my opinion, kept it, fresh and special in my eyes, at least. Like it's noticeable that Shimon has a lot of experience in
public speaking,
in presenting stuff, because you could see that in like the presentation aspect, right? And the second talk was from TJ. I really enjoyed the subject. Recently, I grew very attached to Reanimated and to the worklets and all of those amazing technologies. And I think that TJ basically stole my heart in first couple of seconds of presentation, when instead of introducing himself, he went on the stage and he just said, "My phone has 6 cores, but we are using only one of them." And it was just like, like, oh, actually, yeah, that's so. But he basically encapsulated his entire presentation in one problem statement, and it was a great enter on the stage. And the rest of the presentation, I spoke with him about that after the presentation, and he explained that it was really problematic to cut out the fat, to just leave the concepts clear enough for everyone to understand, and to still not lie about things and not cut corners. So yeah.
So I agree that presentation aspect of presentation is very important. That's probably 33% of the presentation, but the other 67%, you still need to have something interesting to talk about. Topic and your technical expertise in that subject is required, because you can tell if someone is giving great presentation about the subject that they don't know nothing about, or if the subject is boring, then man, you are at the tech conference, the presentation is great, but this is not a show, it's still a tech conference.
I mean, the conference, I would say it's more of a show. If the topic is interesting, and because when you are making a presentation, all you should care about is who are you presenting for. If you would be making a presentation for kids and in a school, you would like to leave the presentation making them feel like, oh, that was interesting, I want to learn more about that in my home. If you are making presentation for the client, you want to make client feel taken care of and safe with you, and want to know that you know what you're talking about. And with conference, I believe it's often because there are plenty of specialists on the conference, plenty of amazing, talented people, and it's really hard to teach them something. But on the conference, I believe that the strongest aspect is presenting an issue from a different perspective. Presenting stuff that everyone knows about, but doing that in a new, fresh way. So I believe that it requires a bit of showmanship to pique the interest of everyone else.
Sure, I totally agree.
There are schools, maybe not schools, but I'm not sure if you are aware of Toastmasters. This is like Toastmasters. This is like a international, how to name it? I'm not sure what
organization.
Exactly it is. Organization, let's say, where you basically learn how to present things, how to talk, how to move, to make presentation great. And one of the exercises they have is basically providing a presentation out of your mind, and just talking about something random for 5 minutes. So it's something you can learn.
Wow! Did the course from them?
No, I was there on a meeting once.
Nice.
But yeah, this is basically something that I know many people presenting stuff on the conferences in Poland used to attend frequently, and there are even championships, national championship of giving presentations, basically. And from all I know is that there's a category where you basically pick a topic randomly from some set of predefined topics. You have 5 minutes to prepare, and then you are giving a talk, basically.
Nice.
So
I believe that you could achieve the same skill set, maybe oriented differently, by doing a course in improv.
Probably.
Because it's I feel like it would be, if you would like to have nice strong body, you need to exercise, but you can either for instance work out in the gym. This would be
or take steroids.
Toastmasters, or take steroids.
This is the same idea, basically.
One more presentation I would like to call out, and it was from Jorge.
Yep. So that one is here. React Native releases in 2025 towards a stable future.
such a cool presentation. It was so much fun to listen to, and overall, he's such a fun person.
Yeah,
Like
I agree.
he has this, like, I would even say, like, childish energy about him. Like he seems to be excited about a lot of stuff about technology. And
You
when
can
I
even
was
see this childish energy in his profile picture, right?
yeah, and it was great to talk with him. A lot of fun, and I because he started the presentation with basically saying what they did wrong in previous release cycles. And I'm very excited to hear the presentation a year from now or 2 years from now, talking about this presentation, being like, yeah, it was a mistake. So this would only prove that they are evolving and they are, nailing down their
What I
release cycle.
liked,
But
what I liked about his talk was how he gave credit to his team members, and he was like constantly acknowledging people's contributions and like saying this guy is great at this and this guy is great at this, and like we did this wrong. So like acknowledging other people's, acknowledging their like mistakes. It wasn't mistakes, like that was a strategy back then. We are shifting to a new strategy with new goals, but like he framed them as mistakes. And yeah, that was like really humble of him to like acknowledge those two things.
This is how good management looks like. Basically, if something great happens, it's because somebody did a great job. And if
Yeah.
something bad happens, it's not mistake of this person, but rather like a group responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And in contrary to bad management, when everything that's good is because of the management and everything bad is because of particular people. So yeah, it was great to hear that.
Yeah.
The whole team is responsible for all the great things we have we have seen, and it was great to hear that they are switching to a new cycle that maybe will result in less work with migrating between versions, because right now after 6 months sometimes it's really hard to migrate with so
Yeah.
many breaking changes and so many native code changes required. Well, it's a little bit better with CNG, so we don't need to necessarily do those changes manually, but still in some cases you need to, and this is always pain in the neck.
It was fun how we were at the conference, like mid-conference on the evening on the first day. I was actually talking with Jorge in the evening of first day, and this newsletter just came out, and someone came to us. We were talking, I was talking with Jorge and said, Jorge, this week in React just came out, and Sebastian is quoting you that you just announced React Native 1.0. And Jorge was like, well, fine, I didn't announce it. Like, I just said it's on the horizon, which what it means here. But when you see this kind of newsletter and like you see this title, you don't think, oh, there are strings attached to this. It depends, right? No, you think, oh yeah, we'll have React Native 1.0 really soon. Which is not the case.
This actually appears like, a curve. So on the left side, there will be also 0 and point. So there will be 0.100.
Oh yeah, that one was a meme, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, there is a meme about this.
I have such a memeful mind.
So that's that. Shimon, what was your few favorite topics from the conference?
Hard to say, because I've been basically all the time in studio, so
Just pick one. Pick the one that you liked, that you watched actually, and have something to say about.
Composition was super.
Fuck.
Like,
yeah, you stole mine.
Super clean, let's say. It was super clean because
that's my
slides were
favorite
clean,
one.
Animations were clean. Like, delivery wasn't that much like a show. It was basically describing what we all see, but the topic itself was also technically simple, technically something we should all be aware of. But at the same time, I've seen so many code samplers not doing composition at all, but rather accepting 20, 30 props, controlling all the stuff inside. So it was like not super complex topic, but still the way how it was delivered, I mean, basically overall it was a super nice thing to hear about, even though it was not super complex when
For
compared to other
the
topics.
for the delivery aspect of this, in my opinion, it was one of the best talks in terms of delivery aspect. What Kevin talked about in terms of your delivery, in terms of like how TJ started his talk. Fernando did something similar. He said, "Does it have to be this way?" Something like that, or like, "Why are we doing this?" He intentionally waited for room to be quiet, for everything to work, and then he said like a question, does it have to be this way? And I was immediately hooked into this. And like you said, the topic was not groundbreaking. At the same time, it was very relatable.
True.
And I was expecting something else from Fernando, actually. I was expecting to hear something about Vercel plans in terms of
I know.
mobile
I know.
and
I
frameworks.
heard that
And
during the
yeah.
interview. Like I was about to ask something about composition, and then Łukasz basically stole the show and started asking, "Oh, what about mobile? What's the strategy reversal? What's coming up? Why?" And I was just sitting there during the interview and just looking right, left, because they were still talking about Vercel. And I was trying to ask something, but I realized there's kind of no place for me there. Still,
Sorry for that.
the interview is
Kevin,
between them.
do you
also.
sometimes feel that way on the live stream with me?
No. Like,
But yeah, it is what it is.
Sometimes just being I lost the word, parachute, I believe. Sometimes being a parachute. Yeah, it's like, a safety parachute. It's also a role. Like, you don't always have to speak. Sometimes you have to listen and take notes and support the main questioning. Like, that's why you have sometimes good cop, bad cop, right?
I really like this one as well from Krzysztof Nakazawa. And like I liked him at the panel on the first day as well, and also here. This talk is also not groundbreaking, but with such a speed of delivery, he is going through some of the boilerplates. He's just like actually showed us like 4 different boilerplates that he made at his company to like make bootstrapping projects easier. But he was like explaining in detail some of the design decisions that he took, and he was like really fast with it. He said, "Oh, you don't need this kind of rule from linter because it's really slow, and we can enable the same rule in TypeScript. Move on. You don't need this because something else. Let's move on." And like with each line, I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to try out those boilerplates really soon." Like I really like good defaults. He said, "Those are the boilerplates with good defaults. Just use them."
Okay.
So yeah, I really like this one. But I mentioned the panel at the end of first day, and at this panel we had someone dialing in, Tomo, dialing in remotely. He wasn't at the conference, but he was at the panel. He said something really interesting as well. He said they were discussing like the last 10 years of React Native and like what were their experiences at Meta, like promoting React Native internally at Facebook back then. And he said something like, just create great products. If you create a great product, you don't have to like evangelize the technology even. If you create a good product with that technology, people will come up to you and ask, which technology did you use? So it's not about picking the libraries or picking the tech stack. It's about creating product that feels great, that people use, and like using the technology that is enabling you to do this, basically.
But isn't this like often a situation like that? Meaning, what is your like purpose of doing something? Why are you doing something? Like if you are doing an init project init, and your main goal is to like achieve this and that amount of stars, or get this and that amount of retweets or re-access now, I guess, then your like perspective is very narrowed, right? You can take something and maybe try and improve it. But I think like when you have a problem statement and you, while working on something, you find an issue and you want to actually solve that issue, then other people will just pick it up, because there will be plenty more people who will look at that and be like, oh, I actually have a very similar issue. Thanks for providing solution. And that's how it's usually spreads the fastest way.
Mm-hmm. So I think the parallel to this would be if you create content just for likes on platforms, right? You can buy likes in like likes farms. This content will not go viral. But if you create content that you are comfortable with, that you feel natural in, and it's a great content, it will just like, it will take some time, but it will build an audience of people like-minded, and then you can just be you and create more and more of that kind of content. So like the product comes first, and like the technology is less important, honestly.
No, I totally agree.
Okay. So how did you guys like the conference in general? What are your general thoughts about the capital of React Native?
Capital of React Native.
Wrocław in September is capital of React Native.
Yeah, so many people with the lanyards walking around.
With what?
I think it's called lanyard.
Conference badge?
Yeah, or a badge. How is lanyard?
Okay, but conference itself.
It's lanyard.
At the first
Just
glance,
say
I would
conference
say
badge.
there were less people than a year ago, but from what I heard, there was actually more. So I'm not sure why.
The numbers were pretty similar, I think. Like, I think overall in external participants, we were higher than last year. But with internal participants, meaning people from Callstack, we were obviously lower than last year. So there were less people from inside of Callstack, but there were more people like just coming in, more people from community, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was about to add something like maybe dump, but I'm not the fan of the venue. I mean, I like when it's more like not, let's say, single way. Hard to describe it, but usually there are multiple ways to get to stage, and in this venue there's only one. So if there's any jam, let's say traffic jam, it will basically block the whole thing out. In contrary to some other places where you have multiple ways to get to the stage, right?
Do you mean like the stage itself or like the venue? Are you referring to real traffic jams or like traffic jams in terms of speakers?
Human traffic jam.
Okay.
Yeah, there were a couple of narrow.
There
were a couple of narrow points, and if you were like moving with everyone, it was usually like migrating from one side of the venue to the other, and sometimes it might have felt a bit claustrophobic. But those were like singular occasions. My biggest pain point is actually the toilet locations. Going from the outside to the toilet. Like I feel like I made a marathon just walking from the outside to the toilets, because you had to go through entire venue from one point to the other. So this was kind of annoying. But me personally, I really love the venue. One of my favorite parts is that you don't really have to sit inside the venue, like inside the presentation hall, in order to see the presentation. So a couple of times I was standing with a couple of friends from Callstack, and we were just watching the presentation on the screen because we could also discuss that and talk about that, to provide more insights to each other. Mike says that it gets worse with age to read toilet. Yeah, that's why this was my problem. But yeah, the venue was fire. People were amazing. I feel like the participants, like when people were giving presentations, and I've heard it from a couple of people already, they felt like the energy was quite low.
For
like laughs or like ovations or like interaction with the audience. A lot of people said that the energy felt a little bit low. Like people maybe felt intimidated because of the more professional conference looks, the less eager you are to just scream out a question or like laugh out loud or stuff like that. And I feel like maybe this was the case. Maybe comparing it to the last year, everything seemed even more professional. So I don't know, but overall, you can see it. Yeah, sorry.
As far as so I agree with the professionalism. Like you can see the professionalism all over. Like you said, people at the stage, Szymon Chmal, fucking pro, and also like organizers and venue and all of this. In terms of the vibe, maybe it was toned down a little bit. But if you look at the pictures from the party,
yeah,
it was bomb. So
it's normal for tension to build between audience and the presenter. It's something like normal. I think maybe not the problem, but the reason why this tension built so high during React Universe Conf is basically the size of stage.
Yeah,
that's something I kind of realized some time ago, that meetups, the tension on meetups is usually way lower because the stage is small. There's no like this huge border between you and the person presenting. It's a little bit bigger on maybe some small conferences, but still small enough for people to reach to you after a presentation, just asking for more details. But if you have this huge ass stage with social accounts, with photos, with everything happening, with the camera flying above you, the tension is so high that you kind of you're afraid of going to a person presenting and just asking questions.
Yeah,
there were a few people asking me about some. There were a few people asking me about some details, about giving me some feedback on Rosanite itself, or asking how to use it in practice. But I feel that people were afraid to kind of ask me questions after the presentation. It was
so I guess
there was
like
one person speaking.
I mean,
with
because
me.
it was actually your choice, because you decided that on the day of presentation you will wear much tighter shirt. You will just like expose your biceps, and you were expecting people to just come up to you and be like asking. They were scared of you.
It's small, super small today.
I guess that could be a good feedback for the next year to try to accommodate that. But I agree with Szymon. It's much easier to socialize with people on like 50 people meetup when the venue is just a room, when you drink beer and eat pizza in the same place that you were just like having a talk, where like if you have 50 people in one room, someone will just like say something from across the room and you will hear them, and you can just like have the conversation during the talk and not after on the hall.
Or maybe you need some kind of QA session, or at least, for example, in the app we should have a section where you can ask questions and have them answered asynchronously, for example.
I think
this would be interesting.
We have Mike, our co-founder, and the reason that this conference exists, and he's making notes how to make this conference better for the next year.
Also, like I don't want to sound mean, or I don't want to like sound negative in any way, but also this I feel like maybe the conference and the participants' energy is reflection of the MC, the person who is organizing the conference. And I feel like I completely forgot her name. I'm so sorry.
The MC, let's say.
Yeah, the MC. I mean, I loved her voice. I loved her accent. When she was starting to speak, I didn't want to even whisper anything to anyone. I just wanted to enjoy the way she talks. And I feel like this made it feel so professional and so focused that maybe just also channeled the energy into, all right, now we are listening, and now another presenter, let's invite him. And maybe this kind of calmed down the energy. So yeah, like previous MCs, they were much more high energy guys. Yeah, so maybe that as well.
I think that's because nobody asked us to do squats this year, like Ken C. Dots did last year.
I forgot about that.
Ken C. Dots did the squats, right? Last year.
Yeah,
he does that all the time. But guys, I want to interrupt you because you are two crying babies. You just had an amazing experience.
Yeah, you
on the conference,
actually didn't ask.
and you were expecting 110%. You got 98% of fucking amazingness.
I got even more.
And now you're talking like, yeah, but the food was a little bit too hot.
Food was amazing. Actually, the food was amazing. And there is one trick for all of you who are listening, who are planning on participating next year. There is one trick I would like to sell for you for free. So it's a great price. When there is a break for food, first go for the ice cream, then go for the dinner. Because
her name is Jessie.
Jessie, yeah. Because you noticed, okay. Yeah, but I'm not complaining. It was amazing experience, and I do agree that this was the best conference so far. I've been on all of them for I think 4 years now, and on this one I had the most fun. I spoke and I met the most amount of people throughout all of the conferences. So the energy, the vibes, or everything was there. Like, I'm not complaining that it was something wrong. It's just that on presentations, the people weren't as rowdy as on previous ones. But
I have something to say that this year's edition was better than the last year's. And it is the level of the talks, the detailedness, and the technicalities in the talks themselves. Because sometimes on the conferences you get like a bunch of talks with not that much content. This year, I enjoyed everyone that I watched, and I've seen probably more than half of them live. Oh, and about that. So let me just finish. So if you go to youtube.com, and if you haven't been at the conference,
what's that page?
What's page?
The youtube.com. That's something new.
Yes, youtube.com, and you search for Callstack, and then you go into. So you might be actually watching us right now on that page. We've uploaded almost all of the videos from the conference, so you can watch. Yeah, you can watch the talks. You can watch Shimon talk. Here it is.
How many views? 30, 40?
You have 94 views.
Okay.
Quick question: is it something on my end, or Shimon, do you hear also Łukasz breaking with the mic?
Nope.
Okay, so maybe it's something on my audio end. Sorry.
So I encourage everyone to rewatch the talks and comment all of that.
See, look at this buff dude. He looks like he's from Mafia.
I know. Shimon,
I know that
do you work out before you go on the stage? Well,
that
I
was the
do.
last
Like,
thing
I'm not
that would
ashamed to
come
say
my
that
mind.
if I'm doing a public speaking, I will work out like 2 hours before going to the stage.
Oh, really?
You saw me 2 hours before at studio, so you know that I didn't work it out. So no.
If I would do like 10, what's I keep forgetting words today.
Push-up?
The push-ups, yeah.
Push-ups?
If I would do like 10 push-ups, I would walk out on the stage sweaty and tired. So
I was sweaty, but because of totally different reason. Just standing there, or okay, not standing, but walking. Like Kran was
Well, you
giving his
still
talk,
do.
and I was going back and forth behind the scenes all the time for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I really like this panel. Okay, shall we wrap up?
I need to also say one thing that
Yes.
kind of popped into my head just now. And I want to point it out because I got so used to it. Our like overall branding, color themes, animations, avatars, assets, everything. It's so freaking cool. It's so
Yeah.
cool. Like I get so used to it, I stopped even noticing it. Like the animation at the beginning, like 3-4 years ago, it would be like, oh wow, we have an animation, that's so cool. And now I just take it for granted. Like, of course we have animation. We're professionals. Everything looks top notch. And the bar is really high, and that's amazing.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Like, it looks like some kind of like national TV level, not a React Native conference level, honestly. Like, I don't see this kind of production on conferences.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Any last words before Mike fires you about for complaining about the conference?
Yes. I really enjoyed the conference.
Okay, the thing I wanted to add some time ago, and Lukasz cut me off. The thing is, this year it was super focused on CPP, on native stuff, on Node API, on like super low level stuff. I think the
Totally
last
agree.
year was more focused on React Native-ish, more than on native stuff. So if, for example, I'm not that much into native, I would expect maybe some more variety, let's say. But still, it was good to hear about Node API because it's important for us to have like a way to share code between all the platforms, especially that in React Native we have, I know, 12 of them. Let's say, how many TV platforms there are? 12? 18? So 18 plus 6, 25, 30. So we definitely need a module system for all of them. But yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like it makes sense that there is more and more C++ because like I feel like everything is going slowly towards being implemented once in C++ for all platforms. So it would make sense that after like the community is getting more and more mature, so people are digging deeper and deeper into they're throwing out the layers of abstraction and just going straight to the source. And
I would say innovation happens at native. Like Node API is native. Nitro modules, native. What else? There was some
Uniwind.
talk about, Uniwind, native again. So if we want to have better React Native, we need to be prepared to kind of learn more and more about native.
I don't agree. Like for everyday developer of React Native, it's enough that you have this 1% of really dedicated people crafting those low level bindings like Unistyles, like Uniwind, like Rosenite, like every like Expo, right? And then you can just use Expo or Rock, and you don't care about C++. You then care about like bridging it yourself. So like I don't agree with you about like us having to know how to do it. I agree with the statement that we need to know how it's done, but we don't have to know how to do it.
Well, at
Do you
some point, if
do
something
you get
goes,
my distinction there?
yeah, I know, but if something goes wrong during installation process, during building process, you need to know to read, for example, how to read C++ logs or error messages. You need to know, at least at some low level, what can be wrong with the code, with the process itself. Because if you don't, well, good luck with debugging what's wrong with some library you just installed, right? So still,
I do agree with Shimon on like those parts, because I feel like I said that before on the stream. I feel like the biggest impact on my approach to learning new frameworks and to working with technology was actually relearning math. So I do feel that after some level, when you are learning mainly the abstractions, you learn only the abstractions. But if you learn the fundamentals of what are those abstractions built upon, then I feel like you will have much easier time learning more abstractions, because you understand the core and everything works on the same has the
Sure.
same core.
yeah.
Okay, but then in your everyday life, you don't use the core, you use the abstractions.
It depends.
Yeah, but I could say that this is my main problem with AI. Actually,
Here we go. Okay, Shimon, I think we can now mute ourselves and go for a coffee and let Kevin rant about.
You know that
This is the usual segment.
I know, but I planned to have a break, like 15 minutes break to eat something. So you guys can continue, and I will be just right back after the AI
No,
segment.
Shimon, I need to drop in 2 minutes because, like I said,
You were
I'm
supposed to drop in 30 minutes, so I planned my break to be like just before you, so we could
no.
swap.
I said I'm dropping at 6.
Not 6.
Yeah, I'm dropping at 6, and I might be back at 6:30.
Okay, so I guess my food needs to wait.
Yeah,
no
sorry for
worries.
miscommunication.
As I said, I can
Wrap, so.
take on the small presentation for my reanimated stuff.
Let's
if
do
you want
this.
to.
We just wrapped up the section about React Universe Conf. This was really cool to do it with both of you. I'm dropping now, and I will let you know if I'm back or not, okay?
All right.
So thank you so much, everyone. If I'm not back, it was a pleasure to be here again. I will be here next week. Kevin, are you here next week or are you on vacation?
I will be in Porto.
Cool. Say hi to Puerto Ricans from us.
Wait, what?
Jesus.
See you guys. Bye.
Man, like, from all the things you could say to end
This
up.
got me so much off guard. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Bye. Some peace
Oh
at
my
last.
God. Yeah.
Some peace at last. But yeah, like, generally, the conference
Listen, you know
was
what?
great. Everything was great.
Actually, if you would like
life is
to,
great.
then I can make a small rant about AI just for you to take a small break, and then we can go through the newsletter. Actually,
Sounds cool. So yeah, you have around 5 minutes. Cool.
oh, okay. So it was quite a fast break. So just hold on a
10.
second. Hold on a second. I need to figure out if I can properly share my screen with the window. This window. Yes. Am I sharing? Yes, that's a good window. But I should have first go to a different screen. But anyways, it works. If it works, then it's good. Okay, so I'm gonna take you off the stage now. Done. Great. Okay, so I wanted to quickly. Oh, and I see Will Mruzek asked, "Can I show? Yeah, I can show. Why not Rust?" And correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Rust also partially a bit of abstraction over C++? I'm just wondering. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but yeah. So my main problem. Yeah, this is a small rant about AI. So let's say that this is the entire project, right? And you are working on that project. And this project has a framework. This is the, let's say here, we have our React Native, right? And below that, there is the implementation, and let's call it a native part. So when you are teaching an AI model, I feel like it's kind of impossible to model the relationship between those two parts. So all you can teach the model about is the React Native part. So when you are working with AI, it will understand, for instance, today I was using gesture handler. So let's open up gesture handler docs, go to quick start, and let's say that AI will learn from snippets like those. How to use gesture handler, how to implement simple stuff. And this will be like auto-completion on steroids, right? Very powerful stuff. But there is a slight issue. It understands how to auto-complete the React Native parts. It will understand how to auto-complete the JS parts. It will not, however, understand what this code does on the lower level. So it will know how to implement code in React Native without any knowledge about how it impacts the native parts. And if you will have a problem, right? If you will have any problem with React Native and with how it works on the native part, like how it impacts iOS or Android, it will only provide you with possible solutions based on issues that it learned about in other parts of the internet. So it does not understand the lower level of abstraction. When we, and by saying we, I mean programists or programmers, I still have, so how was the correct way? Programists or programmers? When we are writing something, we understand that this has an implementation on the native side, how it might interact with other parts of the app, what problems might it cause, how it can... Okay, Kamil asked, are you sure you are right? Current models use MCP, web search, current code bases, and error logs. I think it's not true. I don't understand the lower level of abstractions. And yes, like see, this is the problem here. AI doesn't understand a thing. It just jumps from one embedding to another, and it doesn't understand stuff per se. So you can ask it. No, exactly. That's what Mike said. AI doesn't understand. It's just a probability. So in basic words, I will give you a nice quick example. And I see that Shimon came back, so let him first swallow the stuff he's chewing on, just for his comfort. I will give you a nice example. maybe a weird one, but I think it will present the how AI works and my biggest problem with AI. Okay, you are back. So.
Yay.
When you are parking a car, right? Let's say this is your car. And you have your wheels here. I am usually kind of mad on my wife when she parks and she leaves the wheels like that. Sounds simple, right? So I wanted to use AI to be like, can you please explain why you shouldn't leave your wheels like that? And the AI said, yeah, sure. Here are all of the reasons why you shouldn't leave your wheels turned after you park your car. But it kind of didn't sit right with me. So I opened a new chat, I opened a new prompt, and I asked, can you explain why you shouldn't straighten your wheels after parking the car? And it was like, yeah, sure, here are all of the reasons why you shouldn't straighten. And in both examples, it was totally convinced that what I'm asking about is true, is correct, and it has only to provide me the solution for it, right? And that's the problem. It means that AI, in this simple scenario, it does not understand what's the issue, what's the problem, and what I'm actually asking about. It just runs through probabilities and finishes the sentence in a way that will satisfy me, because currently AI is thought in a way that satisfies the conversation partner. AI is not created to provide you with facts, with truth, with at least objectively looking. It is designed currently to satisfy your conversational needs. It is designed to agree with you and to, that's why recently there are so many problems with people falling in love with AI. Yeah, exactly. LMs are too agreeable with the users, but what I actually meant is that AI will not understand the impact. You can ask why it happened, and it might, connect the dots and come up with the conclusion, but it does not mean it understands the reason. So, I mean, like this is the problem with the main problem, I think, with AI, that it basically thinks linearly. It doesn't have couple of like thoughts and couple of levels. If something is not written, it doesn't exist for it. So I think there is a
I'm
there is
trying
a
to
there is a typo. Like, look at that coming. Oh, okay. So going back to this example with React Native, people are now using a lot of AI for code generation, right? And when we are working, and by we, I mean developers, we understand that if we are working on this part of the code, this might somehow impact this part of the code, because we know the entire project, we know the entire code base, more or less, of course, but we understand that there are connections. But when you are working with AI, for instance, like Cursor and stuff like that, and you are using the agentic mode, you are deliberately cutting off a section of your project and making changes only in this part without any interest on how it will impact the rest of the code. So I like to think about it. If you are a bad programmist, you don't understand what you are working with, you might end up creating a very, very complex, very hidden errors and bugs that are almost impossible to debug and to find, because they are hidden up underneath layers and layers of syntactic sugar and magic. And it looks valid, it looks okay, but at some level there is a miscommunication in the project, for instance, between how it works from native parts and the native parts and the React Native parts. So yeah, that's my main beef currently with AI. There will be much more, I guess. But to summarize, I'm not at any point, I'm not saying that AI is not a great tool. It's a great tool. But if you have an amazing hammer, not everything is a nail, right? It's still a tool. You need to learn and to know how to use this tool, or you will hurt yourself, your project, your client, and you might not even know it now. You might just currently be planting a lot of, errors and issues that will just suddenly pop up at some point and will make the project unmaintainable, because more and more often I see that AI is writing code for AI. It says that it's writing code for humans. It leaves you bunch of notes and comments, trying to be like, oh, this is such an understandable part of the code because I left the comment. The comment explaining why I added this another level of abstraction for this level of abstraction. And when you read just this small part, it makes sense. But all the AI explained to you in this one small comment is that I basically made everything more complex, but it's for your convenience, which rarely turns out to be true. So yeah, use AI, but be very mindful of it, or you'll hurt yourself or someone else. And by that, I would like to conclude my AI beef segment. I hope I made sense. Great to have you back, Szymon.
Yeah, I was just sitting there waiting for you to finish your talk, but it got longer and longer and longer every minute.
Yeah, I was basically practicing for my next Toastmasters. Just
Yeah,
give.
With just a small comment, like AI is definitely not. It does not think like humans do. It's mostly probabilistic, but it's also true that if you provide it with a correct context, it will basically perform way better than without this context. And would say
Yeah.
that our current job is not about giving instructions, but rather giving context for the job to be done. So, for example, in your case, you could technically create some kind of, I don't know, high-level overview of the architecture with all the connections, dependencies described, and then provide this document to the model saying that, oh, there you have a model of all components and their connections. So if you change a component marked as dependent, you need to double check that it does not break, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So technically you can do that, but still my main problem with AI is that sometimes if you are using AI to do something that's not common, let's say, and with R&D and if everything is not common, in Rosenlight I do stuff that's, well, exotic as F word. AI would basically end up in the loop because there are two solutions of a problem, potential solutions. Both are wrong, but both are similar enough for AI to be like, I will go with route A. Oh, it failed. Okay, so we'll try with number B. Oh, it failed. Okay, so I will try again with A. Oh, it failed. Oh, we'll try again with B. And the cycle continues as long as you don't break it.
Because you're basically in this case you have faster iterations. It doesn't mean it does something you wouldn't be able to. It just means that it does those things in faster iterations and in faster intervals, right? You would also be able to come up to those conclusions. It would take you longer. I think that also one thing you also said that is currently important to give context. The difference is that AI has only explicit context. It only has what you give it, the explicit
Yes
content.
and no. I mean,
Context.
In cursor, it's a little bit different because cursor automatically adds some implicit context.
It's still explicit. When after you go to the let's call it inference function, when you provide everything to get a response, everything you give is an explicit context. God damn it, there are so many X's. It's explicit context. AI doesn't have implicit context, like this small understanding that, oh, I'm doing this, it might break. And you kind of know why. You have this, how I would call it, a sixth sense. But hold on a second, there is a question from Kamil. What are your thoughts on changing React Native to be model-first development framework? This is the idea that the Remix team wants to introduce in version 3. I think I would need to understand what does the model-first development means, and we can do that in a second.
I'm researching the same thing. Basically.
Okay, and I think this cycle problem was already solved. The improvement is amazing. Okay, have checked the Cloud Code CLA. Yeah, we were checking that, and it's basically refreshing the same problems over and over. So I assume that model-first development framework means that, for instance, the documentation will be provided via MCP, and all of the abstraction will be more AI dedicated, and there will be some models trained just for this framework. So instead of going to documentation, you will be just pointing your specialistic AI model towards specialistic documentation for that model. And I don't know. I really don't know. As I said, this is just a tool. And is it going to be, I mean, of course, at some point, at some level, it will be amazing. AI is great at bootstrapping projects, at speeding up the boilerplate, but at some point, I like to think about it like that. AI is great at making small changes across huge code base, but it's shit at making a very complex small one-liner in the project. Like if you want to do a small thing, for instance, add internationalization, change color scheme, whatever. It can go through entire code base. It's simple, it's easy, and it's done. It's that's it. But if you want to make just, I think all of us here, when we were working, at some point we went through this amazingly annoying, irritating issue that just took 3 or 4 days from us, and the solution was just to change one line. And AI would not be able to find that line. It would be able to maybe fix the issue by adding more and more and more levels of abstraction, adding some conditional statements to change the versioning of something, and it will do the work. But I feel like, at least with current version of AI, model first development framework will be very fast at increasing complexity and hiding the problems underneath that complexity for a long time. And at some point, even AI will get confused. And if AI will get confused, then human will not be able to do anything about that. Because, AI can solve math problems, right? But math problems are very pointed, very straightforward. You need to have a lot of knowledge, but the solution is straightforward. But I feel like with programming, it's not always that straightforward, and it requires like broad knowledge, and also like I kind of lost my train of thought.
Basically, it's not a linear process. There's not only one way to solve a problem.
Kamil says, I recommend very Paweł Brzyski to your podcast, talk about writing AI-generated code. With other processing around most of the... I mean, okay, I can also leave an agent to run for 12 hours Show me the project, show me the code quality. I feel like people are, I mean, I'd love to. I'm going to write it down, actually. It will be an interesting of course, on these podcasts, we are trying to usually focus on React Native. The problem is that when Łukasz leaves...
That's why we are supposed, I guess, to go back to the main topic.
Exactly.
React Native. So the
And that's what I'm
AI
going to
segment
do.
AI segment is now officially over. We kind of had our own issues with AI and no solutions this time, I guess.
I mean, still, AI is great. This is the greatest tool ever made. I'm happy to be living in these times, but in the same time, it's just a tool, and people are abusing the hell out of it. Let's see if we can now easily add everything back. Yep, it works. So let's focus a bit and go through the newest new stuff across the newsletter.
So what's new? Because
So what's new?
I'm behind.
I guess that we should go through those two, because last week we didn't have a stream because of the conference. So I assume that the last week a lot of information might have been about the conference. Let's go straight to React Native. Yep. React Native 1.0 is on the horizon. In theory, with current new streamlined process of releases, it gives a nice possible overview of when it might happen, but still, I wouldn't keep my hopes up yet. It's gotten more predictable with the releases. That's great. I'm all for it. But I wouldn't say that it makes 1.0 in reach in any way, because after 0.99 there can be 0.100, 0.101.
The problem is basically the definition of 1.0. What does it mean for React Native to be 1.0?
Yeah, exactly.
Like super stable. I mean, React Native is already super stable. I mean,
yeah,
I don't remember any app crashes caused by the React Native itself. It was usually caused by some third-party libraries.
That's actually a very dope question. Dear people, dear listeners, if you could now comment and explain in your own words, it can be one sentence or even one word, what would React Native 1.0 mean for you? Because exactly what Shimon says, if you add just a straight up React Native to your project, everything works, everything's dope. Once you start mingling it with other libraries, with other dependencies, it can be less stable and cause problems. But what would the 1.0 mean for you? What would be must-haves from your point of view, in your opinion? So yeah, with that, we have Introduction to React Native Nightly Testing Program. Basically, this is a list of people with the most maintained and most interacted with libraries. If you have a nice popular library, you can get on the list, and basically React Native team will make sure to contact with you and to help you prepare for the changes. So once the new release hits, all of those libraries will be nice and ready for the new version. That's correct, right, Shimon? Did I remember that correct?
Basically, they will download your library every night with the code taken straight from the main branch in React Native repository. They will build an example app with the latest React Native plus latest version of your library, and then try to compile it. If it compiles, then it's most likely everything is in place and still working correctly. If something breaks, they can basically message you saying that, oh, your library is now broken because of some changes we had to make in React Native itself. Because in the past it was like, well, there's a new React Native version, then new Expo SDK comes with new React Native, and after that, people start to adopt new React Native version, and libraries start to be flooded with issues, basically. So now to kind of reverse this process and give feedback as soon as possible, they are testing them in this nightly program, which is cool, but this is only compiling. I don't think they are basically running the app afterwards in an emulator, looking for any like runtime issues, which is something I believe they should add, because there are cases where you can compile, you can run, but then you will see, for example, metro errors popping up.
Yeah.
Something is not working correctly.
I don't want to. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is something I guess simple to add. Basically, console log something like my app is great, and then look for my app is great in the logs. If it's there, then it works correctly. And they will probably add it in the future, but at the moment, it's basically compiling.
The most exciting part, I think, it's actually also from Jorge, was that they're trying to automate the process as much as possible. So my biggest hope would be that they will take those libraries and somehow create end-to-end tests with AI that will add some visual checks, and because there are I would love to be like, oh, they could hire a bunch of testers that will manually test all of that. This would break the testers. Like, even if I would be a tester of that project, after retesting same libraries over and over again throughout weeks, I would get depressed. It would be devastating. So with automation, this would make sense. And they were very proud of their automation process. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this nightly program and maybe others will be more and more tested as we go on.
Yeah, it just came to my mind that the harness library I'm creating is basically fit for this use case. Like, you can run super simple tests on real device with real feedback. So we will see. Maybe they will adopt it at some point.
Yeah. Again, fingers crossed. Continuing Expo changelog. Expo. Yeah, I'm starting to blabber.
Expo.
Xcode supports EAS. That's interesting.
Well, maybe not that much interesting. I mean, with the rise, maybe not rise, but iOS 26 is coming, so the sooner they have support for Xcode 26, the better.
But wait, does it mean that you will be able to do a local build?
No,
but
it's more about remote builds in their AS build. How to pronounce that? EAS.
I don't know. I don't know.
Remote service.
I constantly keep saying it like very sassy. AS.
So basically, this is like, let's say, abstraction layer over GitHub Actions, more or less. So instead of writing the whole workflow with install emulator, install the stuff, install Xcode, build, sign, you just run EAS and you have it. Like, the whole build is done for both platforms.
Okay.
So now you can set the image to Sequoia Xcode 26 and you will have Xcode 26 installed. So that's pretty much it. So you can use it during the building process.
Oh, okay. But still, that's good. RMC to remove the legacy architect. Oh, legacy. Wait, so they don't only want to be getting frozen, but also removed?
Yep, in 82. The interop layer will stay. So if libraries use the interop layer, they are good to go, still good to go. But if there's something just using the old architecture, it will break.
Oh, okay.
We know we cannot really have this code. I mean, technically we could have this code in place, but it's a total waste of space right now.
Makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because technically nobody will create a new library for the old architecture, and people should really try to migrate this year, I would say, or this month, because time is, as you can see, time is ending for the transition process.
Okay, so yeah, it does make sense. Will it give any like significant benefits? I'm not sure, but yeah, it keeps people discouraged from using old architecture, so that's good, I guess. This piqued my interest. New documentation for native code.
Yeah, because I think there's nothing like this right now. I think
Yeah.
there's some. I think Oscar generated some JSI documentation from the comments some months ago. That was pretty much it, the only documentation of JSI. If you want to know more about it, you need to go to the source code and just go through the functions. So,
okay, but
yeah.
so this documentation would be about like exposing information about internally.
Maybe not internally, but something that you are supposed or you are able to use as a native module developer, for example.
Oh, like that. Okay.
So the public API will be documented.
Oh, okay. So if I would be writing something in Swift and I would be using React Native, yeah, this sounds like a great idea because honestly, couple of times, and I'm kind of confident you had the similar situation. I would get ideas for improvements or ideas for libraries based solely on like scanning through the documentation and being like, oh wow, this is accessible, great, I'm gonna try and use that. So just by exposing this information out there, it might be a great benefit. And continuing, autolinking, kind of way above my understanding.
If I'm not mistaken, it's mostly about transitive dependencies.
Oh, yeah, because
the
now they
current
are.
state of things is that when you install some library which needs reanimated, you need to install reanimated because the React Native CLI autolinking doesn't support transitive dependencies. It just looks through the locally installed dependencies declared in your package JSON. But
Okay.
with the new autolinking implemented in Expo, from what I understand, Expo will be able to basically discover transitive dependencies and autolink them too.
Okay.
Which should be cool because you will no longer have to install 6 libraries besides the library you're interested in. Because,
Yeah,
for
makes
example,
sense.
the library uses SVG or bottom sheet or whatever. Those will be auto-installed.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's cool.
And that's an article or... Oh, that's a...
Oh, it's a deep dive.
Oh, that's a deep dive.
Yeah, it basically describes the problem.
Yep, okay. I'm gonna yoink
yeah.
this for later because I would need to go through that. I
Because
have a
node
mission.
modules, it turns out the whole, maybe not idea, but the whole structure of node modules is super complex.
We have a command
especially
from
in monorepos.
Thibault. Also, it enforces a single version for all native libs and some JS libs.
Yeah, because you can, especially monorepos, but not only monorepos, you can end up with many versions of the same library being installed at the same time. And the worst case scenario is that library A will use different version than library B. So you can, for example, I think you experienced the problem that you broken hooks, rules of hooks, or you have 2 instances of React installed at the same time. Something like
okay, yeah.
something like that.
I've seen those issues a couple of times. So you basically
so it's sometimes it's happening because you have React 1 and React 2 installed at the same time, and both are used independently. So in for example, in monorepos, you end up with something called resolution forcing, or just resolutions in package JSON to force all the libraries to use this particular version of a library.
Okay. So yeah,
which
in this
is
case,
pain in the neck, because in Rosenite it's super super important to use the correct dev middleware, and there can be multiple versions of it installed.
yeah.
Just not cool.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I knew I spoke with you about that you mentioned that you were debugging something and you found a couple of instances of React Native and you didn't know like which one to use automatically. Okay, so that's great. And looks like a very nice article, very in-depth, a lot of images. So I will go through that later.
God, I need to finally create this blog for myself.
Okay.
Like, I have 6 projects started called my blog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And none was perfect enough for me to publish it.
Yeah,
So now I think
I have a couple of those.
7.
I have a couple of those projects as well, and I never went public, I think, because I always wanted this have this, like, small space to share my thoughts without any, I wouldn't say consequence, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. But at the end, like to aggregate all of my projects and interests on one, like, the idea of the old internet, like you could have your own piece of the internet just for yourself, your own corner on the internet. But I never went public with that, and it always turns out to be too big of a struggle. Okay, looks like we have reanimated 4.1 with partial support for SVG shapes, incess as animations, improved flashlight integration, flashlight 2 integration. That's interesting. Flash list. God, sorry. And RN81 and Expo 54 support. And oh yeah, and these are all of there's our ultralight, there's liquid glass. I would like to ask actually a question about that. Okay, there's Conf, live streams. I do recommend going through the, at least putting them in the background to listen and to catch the ideas.
Out of curiosity, could you go to Radon IDE one?
Yep,
Because
I opened it. There is
I
quick
don't
other.
see it. Okay, you're going through the last one.
I just wanted to quickly go through the others.
The second one is important for like web developers.
This?
Yeah, because set timeout with 0 delay isn't 0. Not at all. It technically can be everything between 0 and infinity.
Oh, because of how it
because of the event loop and how promises and tasks work. I have to talk about it. I gave a couple of times already. Plus, the problem is that in HTML specification, there is something called set timeout throttling, and if you have set timeout, and in set timeout you create another set timeout, the second one will be capped to 4 milliseconds.
Oh, okay.
So, for example, React internally doesn't use set timeout because when React reconciliation process starts, it basically does some stuff for around, I think, 20 or 30 milliseconds. Then it basically bails out, but schedules the next phase with, let's say, set timeout for this example. So after some time, after 2 or 3 let's say unit of works done, it will start to experience this delay. So React internally uses a hack, which is definitely mentioned somewhere there with message channel. I think if
Let's
you
see.
look for
There is message channel, post message, yeah.
Yeah, because this one is not clamped at all. So basically what you do is you create a message channel and you send a message to this message channel and you add an event listener. And then there's no clamping. Like you can...
Okay. So after your confirmation, yoinked, bookmarked as well. So I'm going to be learning about all of that stuff. Hopefully it will improve my knowledge on before the next stream. Yeah, okay, so there's a lot of improvements. I can't wait to finally play around with reanimated, like on my private projects. But what I wanted to ask, because oh yeah, this is the route. What is the route on?
What do sorting video? I was curious what they changed in Network Inspector, but I see they
Let
they
me
added
quickly.
virtualization, they added sorting, filtering,
Table virtualization.
because my
So-
initial idea for network inspector and generally the idea how it works was inspired by the implementation in Radon IDE.
Oh, okay.
So I was curious if I borrowed something from them, if they now borrow something from me, but I guess this is not okay. I have sorting in Rosanite, so maybe that's something that they borrowed from me.
Well, you are sharing it. So
Sharing is caring,
Exactly. Yeah, and I wanted to ask.
Worklets.
Okay.
Worklets are super cool because we often need to do some heavy job in JavaScript, but because we have this single thread, it always ends up with a massacre. I mean, user try to press some button, totally no feedback from the app side because app is still doing some work in the background. I mean, it's trying to do some work in the background. And worklets are basically, not sure if better web workers or hard to say.
That's a different approach.
Technically, yeah, but yes and no. I mean,
Web workers
are persistent.
Yeah, exactly. Web workers are focused on long running tasks.
Yeah, and worklets technically are not.
Yeah, they're just for offloading a lot of small tasks.
Yeah, but technically you can create a new worklet runtime and post a super heavy task to it, and it will keep going until it's finished. But there's so many use cases people can use worklets.
I think you said it, or somebody from maybe actually TJ. I'm not sure, but somebody's. Yeah, I think it was on TJ's presentation that when you are using worklets, one of the issues is that it can get garbage collected. So maybe if you have a long running task, then at some point, if you are not basically, pinging it every now and then, it will get garbage collected, and pinging it for a long time, maybe it will make too heavy load for worklets to work.
I need to watch the presentation then, because I'm not.
Yeah, I need to rewatch as well.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask about this project because
I hate liquid glass personally. That's a quick.
Like the visual effect.
Yeah, I hate it. I mean, we are going back in time. Like I still remember Windows Vista, Windows 7, Ario theme all over the place. It was cool back then. It's no longer cool, but we are back at Ario, and we are wasting a lot of GPU power just to draw something like this.
But what I'm trying to understand is that it still works only on iOS, right?
26. For lower than 26 on Android, it's basically a plain old view.
Okay. No, because when I saw, I think this video, I kind of thought that by saying that it's liquid glass on React Native, that it means that it's making some calculations on React Native, so that it's not using the liquid glass view from Swift, that it's basically re-implemented purely on React Native side.
Oh, it would be hard to have it in place in React Native.
Yeah, I know.
Skia with constant snapshotting of the background and then applying some shaders, you technically would end up in the same place, but in reality, it would probably eat a lot of resources.
Yeah. But yeah. Okay. So, but still, it's. I have mixed feelings because I kind of don't like the idea, but when 2 weeks ago, when Łukasz started to implement that, and I saw this in action. It actually looks kind of fun.
Technically it does, but
You know
just
what?
imagine being in like super bright environment.
Yeah, I know. Then it looks just like white, but
We won't see anything on the phone
oh,
because
okay. You mean that? Yeah, makes
yeah,
sense.
the
But
contrast will be so low.
I think that as with many products from Apple, it will grow on you. People were I'm not sure if you remember because you're a bit younger than me, but I don't think that you're that younger. How people were super laughing, and it was super funny for everyone when Apple created the wireless headphones, earplugs, the not the headphones.
Yeah,
It
AirPods
was
basically.
AirPods, yeah. Like it was super funny for everyone. Like, oh, that's so silly. People are going to steal it. Oh, it's so dumb. A year later, everyone uses them. It was similar,
Like-
or for instance, how the Apple headset, the Vision Pro, how it brought back the discussion about VR, basically.
Really?
So for a
I
bit.
mean, for a month or two. I mean, I saw those movies of people driving Teslas with vision glasses on their
Yeah,
heads, but
I mean,
you're still at the same place.
They still didn't. I mean, did you use the Vision Pro?
Yeah, once or two.
Yeah, it's. I can confirm that it's a very nice experience, but I wouldn't still push it past the curiosity
You
thing.
know, what I can recommend you is basically buying MetaQuest free, for example, and trying them out, because the experience will be maybe not that top notch, but still good enough for you to experience VR.
I think I'm gonna
every
aim
day.
for PS5 VR headset because I have PS5. I'm a
Yeah,
PS5
it's reasonable.
fanboy.
It's reasonable.
So, but okay. So this was a newsletter from 2 weeks ago, and now let's also quickly go through the last week. Here is, of course, our
one and only
Mike. He's very often here, so we have a Mike cameo on the newsletter. Going through sponsors, React.
Yada.
Oh, I like interactive guides. Sorry, I need to click it.
Oh shit! Now we are in.
No, it's not. They just have one interactive thing.
No, there are more of them.
Okay, but this is basically like documentation on steroids.
Yeah, maybe more of a tutorial.
Listen, I like Callstack. I like databases. Yoink, saved for later. And continuing okay, let's jump to React Native. It's getting quite late, and we still have some news to go through. So let's catch up on these. Expo SDK stable is about to be released. Yep. That's great news, but I'm still not sure if I will push my projects to switch on the newest one yet.
My side project is now being updated to 33, and they are
50
still issues.
Wait, yeah. to 53.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
I'm not, crazy enough to go like on the bleeding edge.
Yeah.
Sorry, bleeding edge.
Same here. But this is my small beef I have with Expo, like the hard limit on the React Native version, because I would like to use the newest versions of everything, and sometimes let's say I would go to my colleagues and say, oh, we have problem with this and that, and their response would be, oh, just update to the newest React Native. But I can't because we have Expo, and also just update.
Technically you can, but I would say only the patch versions, because I guess the problem is with CNG, because with React Native changes there are usually changes in the native side, So you
Yeah.
need to have, CNG templates in place, config plugins updated or something like that. Plus, SDK is like a promise that this particular set of libraries will work just fine. If you break out of it, you cannot have any expectations on stability of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. There is Uniwind. There was a presentation about that, right?
Or is it Uniwind or
Uniwind.
Okay, so there is I missing.
Yeah, in the here.
Yep.
There is a question from Ryan. Don't you think things are changing very quickly at Expo? I created a project last month and I'm already thinking about upgrading to a new version. Yeah, they do. They do change very quickly, but
Which is good.
Which is good, and that's great. But when I'm saying project, I don't necessarily mean my personal project, and that's a problem because in my personal project, if things break, I can fix them. There is no huge or big consequence. In my personal project, I would of course go for the newest, shiniest thing. But with the client projects and things like that, well, I would aim for stability and security and safety of checked and tested things. So it's great that things are changing, but in my eyes, it means mainly that Expo 54 will be super stable in a month. And that's when I will switch to Expo 54. But then there will be Expo 57. So yeah, it's as some people say, chasing the dragon. You will never catch the newest version, and if you want to catch the newest version, you will be. It might get problematic. That's it. But still, yes, that's a huge, amazing thing that things are changing fast. And going back to the Uniwind joint. Oh, that's the waitlist. We had a presentation about Uniwind, right?
Uni styles with a glimpse of Uniwind, I guess.
Yeah. So this is taking the styles and pushing them through the Nitro modules. So it will be fast.
Yeah.
It will be performant.
We will see the outcome because I'm not sure, to be honest. What will be
Well,
what will be the gains, basically?
It's very interesting. That's the one thing I can say for sure. That's interesting. But yeah, I guess that's all we can say actually, because the waitlist for promising styling library presented at React Universe. There will be a free version and faster paid version. Okay, that's okay. To each one their own, I guess. That's how we say it. Expo docs, building Swift UI apps with Expo UI. That's wait.
In the nutshell, creating like.
Will I be able to create a widget?
Nope. But you will be able to use like native Swift components, Swift UI components in your app. So technically, you can create native app without any native code.
Oh, like that.
Yeah, basically are using existing system components. And
yeah, but then
you copy all of it into Swift UI, and of course with some mangling around JSX to Swift, it should work just fine, and you should.
So it's for developers that want to get the native feel without learning Swift UI.
I think so, but people
makes
can
sense.
correct me if I'm wrong.
But there is still overhead of additional JS layer on top of the Swift layer.
Yep.
So it's
but usually it doesn't create any problems.
Yeah, let's be fair. Like people are often optimizing too soon and too fast. So
make it work, make it fast.
Yeah.
Not
okay, so that's a cool thing. Mark, my resume for React what?
Basically, what Mark loved about the conference and talks.
Oh,
And sadly,
see,
I'm
we
not
should have
there.
we should have added that. Yeah, we know this is a trend. Great. I'm gonna. Oh wait, I'm not logged in here. I'm gonna copy it to the other browser and gonna leave a like. Okay, Shopify migrate and create native new architecture. As everyone, I believe, successfully migrated the flagship Shopify mobile.
They did it. Somehow they did it.
Oh, and they're sharing migration strategy. That's lovely,
Yeah.
actually.
Because on their scale, it's super hard, I guess.
Oh, I can imagine, yeah.
Peaceful transition, like gradual transition between both architectures.
And how to add custom JSI bindings to your turbo module. But by Mike.
Yeah.
And actually,
because in React Native AI, they needed a way to pass binary data back and forth without any overhead.
Yeah.
And
I need to
modules by
finally.
default,
Shimon,
learn
can you
native.
actually recommend some sort of book or document on like learning native side
No,
nicely?
because I'm in the same place.
Yeah, I know. So
like I'm trying to find some time to finally get to it, because I can move around. I kinda understand what's going on by creating something like this from scratch is a totally different thing.
Yeah, it's because I would like to understand the native part only in context of React Native and how to basically work with that, how to set it up, how to get the most out of interacting with native side. But I always feel like, oh, if you want to get the native side, you need to basically be an expert Swift developer and Kotlin developer. It's basically like finishing a whole messaging school, just like stretch after the workout.
I tried it yesterday again to create a simple module with a simple view on Android with Jetpack Compose, and it took me a shitload of time just to have the Jetpack Compose in place because it turned out that I need to install some packages from Gradle, and they need to be at correct versions, and then I finally saw a blue rectangle with a text saying "Hello World," and this was my outcome after 2 hours of tinkering with Kotlin. So definitely the documentation on React Native side is outdated. That's for sure. There are things that are not working correctly anymore. Technically, we have React Native Bob Builder or whatever the name is, which will create you a library with, for example, Swift support or Objective-C support or Kotlin or Java. So that's probably a better place to start. But to be honest, I feel like we need to learn more about Android. I mean, build an app or two just to have like this knowledge about what Jetpack
Android and
Compose
Swift.
is. I mean, Swift is cool. Swift is super cool to start with because I have like a super simple app I built. It doesn't do anything, but it has three tabs, and I can switch between them.
I went through entire book of like for Swift course, and after that I was able to help out with Kotlin because like I feel like mobile development is a mobile development. It doesn't matter what framework you're using.
Let's say I became Android expert on the open source retreat we had last weekend.
Oh,
because Trotsky, the nickname, was working on icon support in React Native bottom tabs on Android, and he was stuck at some point because of the differences between, let's say, legacy API of creating UIs in Android and Jetpack Compose, and somehow we did it. We made it work. So yeah, and I told him that if it works, then you need to officially call me Android expert. But he haven't did that yet.
So great, you are now an expert.
Yeah. Because I kind of feel like I'm good at like this detective job.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I call it the rubber ducky.
yeah, I'm maybe not the best like architect when it comes to like thinking about the whole app and components, fitting components in. But I'm good at, oh, it broke. Why? Oh, okay, because this, and that. And I can go through this chain of reasons, and at the end, I will
Actually,
fix it.
not so long ago, I used your powers to help me with debugging some stuff.
We
And it,
basically commented out things one by one, and
yeah,
then
yeah,
ending up
but
in a total like weird place when presence of a constant style in reanimated would
yeah,
slow down everything down because it was so like,
it applies to all of the transforms. So
yeah.
scales, translates, stuff like that makes it problematic with new architecture. I'm very hyped for the Expo. The wait, it's I think it's not that actually. What?
Basically, they brought in React Native EAP, I guess. Yep, they brought it React Native EAP to Expo. Um I'm missing the word. Not foundation, but uh,
Core.
organization. That's
Oh,
organization. So now we have Expo EAP, and the promise that Expo will maintain it as long as
nice.
Expo will live, and there's no sign on the sky making me think that Expo will, for example, die in the next month. So we have now,
Doesn't look like that.
yeah. So we have now a maintained solution for in-app purchases.
Oh, there are a lot of changes.
Yeah, but not that many like groundbreaking.
Yeah, a lot of nice small. This is seems interesting. Things I wish I knew before switching to React Native.
And I think that will be the last thing we will discuss today.
Oh, there's a lot of things to discuss.
Yep. I mean,
But still, I'm gonna also
I went
mark
through
it.
it like really quickly, and yeah, many points listed in here I would apply to myself a couple of years ago.
Okay.
It was like, okay, local storage. So there's a synchronous storage on web. So local storage on React Native sounds like something we should have. No, there's async storage, and
No.
for no reason, I guess, it is asynchronous, which
Oh, I see
was
that there
pain in
is
the
also
neck.
information about EM and REM. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we still have problems with that. I mean, we have Flexbox, which is not totally equivalent of Flexbox on web. It's better now with, for example, gap property, but still, for example, defaults are totally different than on web.
Okay.
Yeah, it is
So
what it
I
is.
bookmarked this one as well. I'm gonna read it on the plane, most probably. But before we finish, I know that we might go back to cover
Crap,
that.
I need to find myself something to work on during 50 hours of fly to Las Vegas.
15.
15. I mean, like, in summary, it will be 15 hours of being not at home. Because first I'm going to Amsterdam, then I have around 2 hours of break there, and then I go across the ocean. I need to buy Nintendo Switch. Definitely.
Oh yeah. Before we finish, let's go through the. How do you enter the newsletter? God dang it! The newsletter. I want to see the newsletter. Get bytes. Bytes newsletter, because they are always. Can you not archive maybe? Bytes archive.
Oh,
Yes.
I can. Okay.
Found it, because at the end they're always giving the.
Spot the bug.
Yes. And let's zoom into that. function get ID user fallback. Well, it would return.
I'm not sure about the priority of operators, to be honest. That's why I always use parentheses to mark the order, because it may be so that the optionality operator has a higher priority than AND operator. So you will end up with user and user ID of fallback.
Oh, like that.
So if user is false, the second part will be not evaluated, or sorry, user is false C, so undefined, null, or whatever. The second part will be not evaluated. Yeah, precedence, that was the...
So if the
has type of
user...
precedence, okay, so... okay, so this will be always...
But isn't this a problem with casting? Oh, we have 2 responses. Oh, 3 responses. First one, and then has a higher precedence than double question marks. So basically, if user, then user, else user or fallback. Second one is fallback gets returned if user and user has ID. Are you sure?
Let's try it out. Let's try it out. I'm checking the background. I know the case with AND operator is that it doesn't always return true or false.
Okay, I can add one more thing. You can basically forget to pass a fallback, which would also cause a problem.
Nah, this is like...
You can.
Not a big problem.
If user is falsy, it returns false instead of fallback. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, that with user ID, it might cast to Boolean value, basically.
If user is falsy, it returns false instead of fallback. Yep, this is definitely the problem, because
this usually works for undefined, right?
Undefined, yeah, only undefined.
Yeah. So, but since this is going to evaluate towards false or true, if this will be undefined, this will be an undefined casted onto a false with that. So it will either return false or true, but will never return fallback.
It's more complicated.
Let's see the explanation.
You can console log and you will see that if you pass falsy to this condition, you see that?
You can't mix the nullish coalescing with and or in the same expression.
It's something I expected, that the precedence was different.
Oh, but I meant the result, how it will result.
The result, okay. So if you pass, because I have it right now in my TypeScript playground, if you pass an empty object, you will return.
Here we have a console.
I'm not sure if optional operator will work in your console, to be honest.
It's gonna. Of course it's gonna. Tick. Okay. Oh.
That's why I have TypeScript
playground.
But yeah. With null, you get what you expect. With empty object, you get what you would expect, so fallback. If ID is null, you get also fallback. So I guess this is this is
Mr. Magnetic had the same thought. Oh, look who's back again.
Never mind.
I came to help you out with this riddle.
I know
we already solved it
on my side, because TypeScript compiler is basically providing a shim for optionality operator, and that's why it works, because it wraps the user and user ID into parentheses.
Oh,
So
automatically.
that's why it's working fine on my side.
Which
Okay.
it shouldn't, right? It shouldn't do that.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start Node, because Node is always right.
This kind of like operation precedence is such a interview question, right?
Yeah.
But
Tricky.
I would answer that I would just wrap in parentheses.
Yeah.
Well, I would just go with that most probably.
How have you guys been?
Pretty good. I had my rant about AI, so it was fun.
That's even more interesting, because using optionality syntax with AND operator is forbidden. It's syntax error.
Like this?
Like the
No,
one
the
above,
one, the one in
original
the
without parentheses.
yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I just wrote null and null optional A. Oh, okay, it worked now. Oh, not this. Null and null optional A. Syntax error, unexpected token. So it's forbidden.
you just broke something.
Unexpected.
Whoa. Wait.
Okay, guys, aren't we supposed to finish like 6 minutes ago?
Oh, I'm sharing a window, right? I'm just sharing a window on the screen.
Yeah,
Ooh,
you're sharing the
okay.
riddle.
Okay.
What
Thankfully.
was that? Okay,
because-
show us what you
because-
have on another window.
Oh, no. No. No,
You get scared.
Yeah, because I opened the Slack and I thought I just
company
showed
secrets.
Well, not company secrets, but like, you know, everyone would see that in privacy of our conversation, you are actually an ass.
Yeah, I was asking you if I should come back here because my meeting is getting like what's the word?
Postponing. No, actually getting longer.
Yeah. It took longer than I expected. Sorry for that.
So what's the plan? Are we
Plan
supposed to finish
is
now, or?
Yeah, I would say so. Łukasz looks quite tired after the meeting. I think we went through the most of the news. We might come back to some of the this week's news next week, or maybe like in 2 weeks, because I feel like there are a little bit more to talk about. We kind of skimmed over it. But yeah, a lot of conversation online also was around what we went through on React Universe. So I feel like we kind of nicely covered all of the most important news. So yeah, I'd say we can finish, and I would be happy about that.
One more fun thing. It's already dark in Warsaw, but it's still light in Toruń.
Really?
Look how dark it is in Wrocław.
Yeah.
We all know that Kevin is streaming from a cellar. So...
Yeah, like look, when I turn off the lights.
Well,
I can.
I don't
shut
have
down the lights as well.
I also don't have blinders on. I just have my washed clothes. My laundry is here.
You know, this is like super light still. So
yeah,
I didn't thought the difference would be that significant between Warsaw.
For some reason, it looks brighter than here. We have worse weather here. Like 2 days ago, it was such a nice storm. I've never seen such nice lightnings.
It was
really
such a nice storm.
Yeah.
I think we have different understanding of a nice weather, you know?
Shall we wrap up? I came here especially for this.
Yes, I know.
I came here
Be
for
our guest. Be our guest.
Actually,
you could say I could. No.
Send this one.
Play something.
Did you expect this one?
This is waiting. This is the waiting one.
Okay, let's try this one then.
Elevator.
Oh. Yeah.
That's
This
our
is-
ending music.
That's the ending music. So,
Okay.
dear people, dear developers, dear IT specialists, we are going to be slowly wrapping this stream up. Huge thanks to Szymon for participating today, because if he wouldn't join us, then Łukasz would leave me and you would have a bunch more of AI rambling and beefing instead of covering the actual news. So huge thanks to you, Szymon. Huge thanks to you, Łukasz, for coming back even after the important call, even though you're tired. And most importantly, thanks to you, dear listeners. Thanks for participating in today's stream. Thanks for commenting. I've seen a lot of you today, which is great because it moves the conversation forward and it really adds to the fun of the stream. So, with all that said, next week I will be in Portugal having my vacation. So hopefully Łukasz will take care of you all and of the news. And throughout the weekend, be nice to yourselves, play around with tech, test out something fun, and maybe share those news on our next stream so we can have even more to talk about. And with that being said, I'm Kevin, here's Łukasz, here's Szymon, and we are leaving you for tonight. Have a great night, have a great day, and bye-bye.
Thank you.
See ya.